absolute tussle there. At turn 1, that was an absolute disaster.
Oh, he's spun!
Oh no! That's massive for Adam!
All over the rear bumper of Spin, mate. These guys are hitting each other like nothing we've ever seen before.
G pulls out to the outside. Here we go again.
AEST, he's going to go for a move here. The two Ferraris in front of him.
G went wide. G's in
Oh!
trouble with Schumacher. Oh, to a contact.
Oh, massive contact there.
This is going to be an incredible finish for these two.
The speed, the overspeed happening. They're going to go 3 wide into
Oh.
turn 1.
There's contact there from Tracy with Kung Fu on the way in. He tries to retwist and gets his way.
Shoved out wide. Oh, huge contact.
This is fantastic. On the outside though in turn 1.
As he shots it down the inside anyway. What is this? Oh my gosh! What a move from GTR!
Good evening, everybody. Welcome to Sector 1 Sim Racing. Joining us in the foothills of Monterey, of course, Laguna Seca Raceway. It is one of the very, very demanding, technical, and very special tracks here in Sector 1 history. And we'll take a quick look at everything before we get underway. So, 11 corners here. It is an absolutely brutal track. A lot of elevation changes here. Of course, we're using the soft compounds and the medium compounds, both to be used mandatorily. Division 4 are going to be in the cooler parts of the weather in the late morning. It's absolutely beautiful here in California. Division 2 in the afternoon, a little bit hotter, but nothing that they can't handle. Of course, joining me in the box tonight as well, the one and only stalwart of Group 3 for Dadson Racing, it is Graham, aka Grrr. How are we, Graham?
Good evening, everyone. Really looking forward to tonight. 108 kilometres, and Brent will go through the championship, but I think we've had revs at 4 round wins, but we've actually podium spots for the balance of the round. So this is a really closely contested championship. So looking forward to it tonight.
Yeah, agreed. And just looking at the points that you've just talked about there, and the man in question, Revs Law, on top on 185. He's got a 12-point gap to his teammate, Isa Renegade now. The Hooncourt boys absolutely dominating the Division 4 championship at the moment as a team. They're doing very, very well. VF in P3 at the moment for Dadson Racing, of course, in the Mercedes. It's been a bit of a struggling package, the Merc overall this season. Benny P4 for Respawn Esports in the Toyota Supra. A guy with no skills in 5th at the moment for Black Rose Racing. Debrev for CP in 6th, Malevolent One for Deeds in 7th, Dazza in 8th, Lambinator 9th, Keza in P10th, and then you've got Womble PD Pops, who, if he didn't have bad luck, would have no luck at all. Snake Eyes, who's just started mid-season, and of course, the Good Doctor, who is one of our few drivers missing from tonight's event, of course, in terms of the housekeeping side of things as well with Division 4, that... Am I right in saying it is the Good Doctor's birthday tonight, Graham? I've heard rumours that it is.
Yeah, it is. Plenty of birthday wishes in the chat, so he's on birthday duties.
No, happy birthday, Good Doc, if you're tuning in, and one of the stalwarts, of course, of Sector 1. Checking at the chat at the moment, it's absolutely flying off the handle straight off the get-go, so evening to Kung Fu, to Jish, to Robert Rice, who said, let's get some Hooncorp. Perfect place for it too. There's a track like this. Diabolus is in the house. Womble, who's I'm just spying down from our commentary box here. We're actually on a makeshift commentary box, not in the pit lane, because Lenocis left the keys in the Commons box, so we've sort of got to make do with what we've got here tonight. Shies is in the chat. Bogzilla's also here, and Tim's cheering on Snake Eyes. So speaking of Snake Eyes, it's going to be interesting to see how he goes. We will cross over to Division 4 in a couple of seconds, guys. But make sure you smack that like button. Don't forget to subscribe if you haven't already. And, of course, hit the notification bell so you don't miss a bit of action. So I think out of all these Division 4 drivers tonight, there is a couple missing, including, as we've mentioned, the good doctor. I think Lambinator's currently away, and I think there's one more off the top of my head that we are missing as well. I can't remember off the top of my head who that might be. So stay tuned, guys, and we are just about to get underway. I reckon we're going to hit some qualifying action, of course, from the Laguna Seca Raceway with the tech, and the sun's been beaming down here. We actually walked around Monterey over the week and just enjoyed the sights and sounds. Pebble Beach is just looking absolutely spectacular, and a few of the drivers actually had a couple of cars on the on Pebble Beach, so we will probably see a few of those in the socials at some stage. Any picks on who's got the top tier speed tonight for this division, Graham?
Just looking at the practice, now we're all a little bit cagey in practice running between tyre compounds, but we had 7 drivers within half a second of each other, just sitting around that low mid-29 marks. So I think under quali, we'll certainly see, we could see a 28, and I think it'll be a very close 10-minute session.
Alrighty, so whenever you're ready, mate, smack that button. I think it's, from what I've seen, it's orange and white and blue in honour of Nicky Hayden here, who, of course, I believe won MotoGP World Championship back in 2006. One of the best riders, the Kentucky kid of his time, and defeated Valentino Rossi, which is no mean feat at all. So we're just about to get underway here at WeatherTech Raceway, Laguna Seca. And drivers, there we go.
Out of the pits now.
There we go. So, going to be an absolutely jam-packed night tonight. We are looking very much forward to seeing who can really stand out. And the first man that is going to enter the track tonight is our championship leader, Revs Law for Hoon Corp. Bit of an unknown as to how the Nissan will handle at Laguna Seca. We saw how TX3 went last round, and it's going to be a bit more of an interesting time around this this period, because we've got 4 Nissans, I believe, running tonight. So keep your eyes on Revs Law. He'd be one to watch our championship leader, and he's had a couple of very dominant races. We got VF, who's as Karen's just made a mincemeat of the comms box again. VF for Dadson Racing, and he's been a bit of a bit of a surprise packet is probably the best way to say it. His pace has been very, very strong. Got ISA Renegade, teammate to Revs Law, also from Hoon Corp, and make no bones about it, Renegade wants to close that 12-point gap. He's put a very strong performance on so far this season. What can he do from here? A guy with no skills for Black Rose Racing, of course, in the Nissan as well, and it's a bit of inconsistency has crept into his races every now and again, but he's shown glimpses of strong pace, and he's looked very, very strong here, as has the guy behind him for Respawn Esports, is Benier. He wants to get back into that championship fight. He's got a lot of work to do, but if ever there's a track that he can make something happen, it is Laguna Seca. We got Womble for Red Mist Racing, the team leader, and he's been very, very excited about the Matildas in the World Cup, as we all have. Of course, getting past France last night. And in honour of that, if you have a look... Oh, it was Guru... Oh, no.
Yes, run wide.
Yeah, I was about to say, he's just had a big, big moment as Womble... he's got the Matildas on the bonnet tonight of the Toyota Supra. And it's a big, big picture of Sam Kerr. And it's taken him an absolute bucket load of time to get it done. It is so highly detailed. He's done a fantastic job. We've got Dazza for Kraken Esports, and Dazza's been up and about the last couple of rounds. He's very, very quietly confident about tonight's race, and he's in the right package to do it. The Super, of course, has been very, very strong here, but a very abrasive service could hurt his tyres. For Deeds Racing, we've got the Malevolent One driving out of the Subaru garage, and make no bones about it, he's just going to treat this as a Sunday night cruise. All the Toyota 86s across the entirety of the round have really struggled, especially in terms of tyre and fuel, which is what we thought might be one of their strongest points. Snake Eyes for ISA as Revs Law sets the benchmark of 128.8. Snake Eyes has got, he's got to find some more pace here.
Yeah, that's dropped straight into 28.8, so another 2 or 3 laps and probably come down into the mids.
Yeah, the track will rubber in quite nicely, and one of the guys that will help in that regard is Debrev for the CP Conglomerate, driving the, I believe it's the Bez Media version of the liveries. They're all got different colours. They look very good as Debrev pops it up to P6. And there was couple more cars I needed to see, I think. PD Pops, P9.
11.1's off.
Oh, and yep, I think he just checking off. He's well in the weeds. See if I can find him there. Oh yeah, he's
Oh no.
Oh no, he's had a big issue.
Yep.
That's him gone. Oh, that is.
Fortunately, I'd see if there's anything on the comms. I can't see anything there.
Yeah, I can't see anything from my end either. So something drastic has happened to the Toyota 86 of Malevolent One. As we were talking about bad luck as PD Pops and Malevolent One, I've sort of just jinxed my own driver being a Teeds team owner. But unfortunately, PD Pops looking for a very, very strong result. He's, I'd say he's nearly almost written this season off in terms of how much of a struggle it's been just to get a clean night going, as Revs does a 28.4. That is a brutal lap time, that really is. So, oh, look at that! Guy with no skills goes to the top. And Beniers...
0.001.
Yeah, against Benier, who's just slotted into P2. Gap between this top 3 is literally 0.4 of a second. That is crazy. And Revs is purple. We will jump on board now onto the Hoon Corp Nissan. So he's heading up to turn 5.
Guy with no skills, purple behind him.
Oh, so this is well and truly on. These Sylvias are here to play tonight. Just jump on board with the guy with no skills. And he's got Renegade in front. Oh, looks like Skills just had a very big moment. He would have lost a lot of time from that. So Renegade's sort of just the cork in the bottle at this point of qualifying. Still 4.5 minutes to go, though. Plenty of time left. PD Pops has just separated himself a little bit in terms of finding some clean track, which is critical to his lap time. The Alpha was a bit of a surprise for mine last round with the Stranger. He had the tyres for sure, but just couldn't find the paces.
28.1.
Wow. There we go. So that's a take that, Div 4. Let's see what you can do. 28.1. That is a brutally quick time, that is. As Womble goes into P4 with a 28.5.
And Benier and Guy with no skills, they've gone in for fresh tyres.
Oh,
to
look.
get that last hot lap.
VF, your teammate's gone into P2. That's a fantastic effort there by VF there for Dadson Racing.
And what makes it worse? 2/10 quicker than my time last week.
Holy jeez. Yeah, no, a lot of the drivers I've been talking to throughout the week have been talking about how abrasive the track is and how narrow it is. There is a lack of confidence between quite a lot of the grid at the moment and what they're able to do. We saw at Group A really struggle in just terms of tyre management, and there was a couple of aggressive strategies that were quite left field. As PD Pops goes around the Andretti hairpin, he's going to want to set a very big lap. He's able to really look after these tyres, though. They're up to temp. And he's well and truly up at the moment as he enters turn 4. So, we were talking about the luck that PD Pops has had. Do you reckon, Graham, that he's just sort of is he doubting himself, or has he written the entire season off, do you reckon?
No, I did get a message from him before. He's really going to run hard tonight. Good consistent race he wants, so I think he'll be back in it.
Yeah, I agree. And there's going to be tracks that will come to him. I think we've got a couple of very tight, twisty circuits that will really benefit him. As Revs Law and VF pit, this is that little bit of that lull in qualifying as Dazar does a 29.4 and Snake Eyes does a 20. Yeah, 28.1. So the
And we've
Porsche.
got 4 drivers getting fresh tyres.
And I reckon ISA will have been buoyed by the fact that in the Manufacturers Cup for Gran Turismo World Series that Porsche took the lot, as far as I'm aware. I might be wrong on that. Guys in chat, if you want to just tell me if I'm right or wrong about that one. I'm probably wrong. But look at the gap between himself and Revs Law there. It's nothing in it. It's 0.3 of a second covering the top 4. Oh, yeah, top 5, if anything. And Womble's there or thereabouts as well.
Yeah, he's just carried a penalty out of the pits, but only 0.5, so he must have dragged that in on the way into the pits.
Yeah, and I think at a track like this that's really, really abrasive, do you want to maybe just burn the penalty and just find that banker lap, or do you reckon he's not going to have enough time at this point to get 2 laps in?
What have we got left? 9. He'll burn it off on this lap, and I think he'll get another run. He'll get 1 more lap in.
Yeah, I think you might be right. So he might be 1 and done. And Revs Law here he's finally being challenged in terms of qualifying pace. We've seen him dominate a couple of these big events. He's going to have to do it the hard way, though, as we'll jump on board with Snake Eyes around here. Fantastic track, Laguna Seca, as we head up to turn 1, the Andretti hairpin. You can afford to late apex this. He breaks really deep. He might be held up a little bit here as Dazza just checking him up a little bit as they head into turn 2. Benier goes with a 28.2. That's a really, really nice lap there from Benier. And yeah, looks like Snake Eyes is being held up here. This is really killing his qualifying, and what that's going to do is just help Debrev right behind him. But if Debrev reaches them quick enough, that might also check him up. So this qualifying session's definitely on. We'll jump on board now with Debrev for CP Motorsports in the McLaren. Heading up the Rahal straight as they approach the fearsome corkscrew. So much time to be found here, but it's so easy to get it wrong. Coming up to the second split, and he's half a second down at this point, so he's not finding anything else as well. Is Revs Law up? Has he done enough? Enters turn 10 now. Up to turn 11. He's going to have a little bit of a slipstream here from Snake Eyes. This will only benefit him. Let's see, can he go quick? This is looking like a strong lap. And
20.
There we go, 27.9. What a lap there by Revs Law, clutching it at the end. Let's see who's coming across the line now. A guy with no skills. And he's down as well, so the track's just starting to ramp up a little bit. What can Petey Pops do? Doesn't go any faster, so there's only a couple more cars left. Benier's done. And VF is going to be done as well, so it looks like pole position is going to go to Revs Law with a 1 minute 27.974. That was a fantastic session of qualifying. Great lap overall.
Yep, very close and very respectable times.
Yeah, that's brutally quick. A 27.9. Holy sheesh. Snake Eyes in P2 there for the Porsches. And Benier in P3. Barely 0.02 of a second. So we'll just cross over to the results real quick and get a quick look-see at those. Guys in chat, what do you think? Who's going to... Oh, excuse me. Who's going to take out the race tonight? That's going to be the real key here. And we'll just chase up the qualifying results in a second. I've got a very second-hand machine here. Thank you, Lenocis, for locking the keys to the comms box. As we will go down to the qualifying results here. So as you can see, guys, Revs Law here in P1, 1 minute 27.9. Only a matter of inches behind Snake Eyes in P2. The Porsche proving a strong package. Benier for Respawn in P3. VF in 4th. A guy with no skills in 5th. Womble 6th. He'll be pretty happy about that. Dobrev 7th, Renegade in P8th, Dazza in P9, PD Pops in 10, and Malevolent One in P11. So this is going to be an absolute slobber knocker of a race. And Division 4, they don't muck about. They're a very, very competitive bunch, and they will not hesitate in throwing down if they have to. So I'm looking very much forward to this, Graham. Have you got any shockers you're going to pick tonight, or any surprises in the grid?
It'll be really interesting to see how the two Herncorp guys go. Just, the two Nissan guys go, because they've certainly showed some strengths there. But be wary of that Porsche in second place, I think.
Yeah.
It did that qualifying session really easily.
Yeah, agreed. And I think it's going to be absolutely chaotic race in terms of the strategy side of things. We know that the Toyota can really lynch tyres. The Porsche was pretty good on them last time out. We saw Budsy do a fantastic job in Division 3. So all is not lost for Snake Eyes here. He's going to be pretty happy about that performance. And VF especially will be, very, very excited indeed. So I reckon...
get that green flag going.
Yeah, I reckon it's going to be absolutely fantastic tonight.
All right.
So
instructions have been sent. Race started.
So everybody, where do we go from here? It's going to be absolutely fantastic race. Looking very much forward to seeing who steps up and takes the top step. And of course, I'm hoping it's Malevolent One from my side. And I think you might be picking VF for your side here.
A little bit biased, but yeah, VF. But I'm really interested to see where Snake Eyes ends up in that Cayman.
Yep, I agree. As we're waiting now, these guys are getting very, very twitchy here. 3 lights, 4 lights, 5 lights. And they're away. Very, very strong start here from Rev's Law as he takes the lead. As we've got the little glitch happening again, saying Benny is in the lead when he's really P4 as they head down to the Andretti hairpin. Little bit of a bump and grind. Oh! Someone's been sent to the shadow realm. But they've gathered it up. They're all through.
Yep. Spanier got hit there. Just bumped through under brakes.
Oh, and Snake Eyes has been turned. Already lap 2. He's gone. That is huge. We'll see if we can get that on replay. But that did not end well at all. We saw up the front the amount of contact that happened. And that is that done. He's going to have to find a way to come back from that. Rev's Law already 7/10 of a second clear. VF up to P2. Womble's gone up to 3rd with all that carnage at the start. We just seen him move a bit further back though. Dobrev starting to get a bit hunted by PD Pops as they go into the corkscrew. Oh, he's missed that completely. That's going to be an invoice. PD Pops will lick his chops over this one. As Isa Renegade makes a big move on PD Pops here. Can he get it done? No, he can't. So PD Pops holds steady at the moment. Dobrev, I don't know how he didn't get a penalty there. That is just insane. He had all 4 wheels off Valentino Rossi, Casey Stoner style, circa 2007, I believe. That was absolutely brutal first lap from these guys. They are not mucking about. As we see Dazza now P6 with Benier in 5th. And it looks like these guys have already just started to try and find their way. Guy with no skills in 4th is really starting to close up on Womble and VF. He does not want to let... Oh, as Dazza has a big, big moment. Did he save it? He did.
Yep.
That was a big sideways moment there. That was just crazy first lap. So you saw poor Snake Eyes just got absolutely turned there. Nowhere to go whatsoever, but it is a brutal track for this Laguna Seca, and there is telltale signs of a bit of damage on the front and the back of Benier's car here. Car looks straight.
Yeah,
you go.
I think through T1, T2, they were 3 or 4 wide in that part.
Yeah, and it's one of these tracks where you've sort of just got to bide your time in terms of really trying to make moves happen and really looking after really looking after your position. You don't want to go and get it too aggressive too early because the track's quite narrow. But some people do make hay while the sun shines in that regard. And Womble is one at the moment. P3, and he's looking very, very strong at this point. He's had a couple of very off rounds in the last, I'd say probably 3 or 4. He's struggled to get the big results, and then he's had big, big moments in which he's been absolutely, probably the best word to say is bullied. As looks like guy with no skills really starting to close in. We'll jump on board now. You see Womble struggle. He's really trying to find grip there, and he did not have it whatsoever going out of turn 3. This guy with no skills going to get this done. No, Womble covers. Oh, and guy with no skills makes the move, gets it done. Little bit rough, little bit forceful, but wasn't a bad move overall. So, guy with no skills up to P3, Womble down to 4th. I'll tell you what, Graham, he's bringing a guy with no skills, sort of brought Benier and Dazza here with him, by the looks of things.
Yeah, and Andy Brev's closing that a little bit as well. But couple of different tyre strategies.
Oh, someone's gone! Petey Pops is gone! Oh no, Petey Pops has been turned at the corkscrew. It was the wrong way around. And things just go from bad to worse this season for him. So, if you're in Petey Pop's position now, you just got to put your head down and just try and play the strategy game. And it looks like Womble and a guy with no skills. Womble around the outside, surely not into Andretti hairpin. No, guy with no skills holds position. Womble just spending a bit more time on the sand than David Hasselhoff at this point.
And that's brought Benny right into play, and Dazza.
Yeah, you can see the mirrors in Womble's cockpit view. I've never actually stepped inside the Supra before, so you guys are very, very well spoilt in the Supras with how nice the interior is. It's basically Boggo stock. Looking behind, of course, you can see in the mirrors there. Oh, Dazza.
Big dive by Dazza.
Doesn't get it done, though. Benier just holding station here. So this little battle pack is starting to get a bit feisty at the moment as they enter the Rahal Straight. Dazza really wants a big result tonight. You can feel it. Just by his driving style here. Oh, a little bit of a touch there. A little bit of a love tap. Gets away with it, though. So at this point, I think VF's just sitting pretty. He's done a fantastic job, but Rev's Law just too strong at this point. 6 seconds to the good already by lap 4. And you can just tell his lap times are just significantly stronger. He's looking very, very powerful indeed at this point.
Yeah, last lap was a flat 28, basically.
Yeah, and the one before that.
Actually, the last 2 laps.
Yeah, that's sickening. And then he got the fastest lap of the race with a 1:27.892 before that. So we're just checking back now on the battle for the 3rd step of the podium here. And Womble just stretched the legs a little bit on Benny. He's just got to clean up a couple of these little mistakes that he's doing. You see him run wide every now and again onto the sand, and he's found half a second there already in the first sector, so that's pace he'll want to have. Benier's starting to catch up, though. Benier needs a big result tonight to just stay with these guys in the championship battle. It's been a little bit of a mixed period, probably the best way to say it. He's started off like a house on fire round 1 and round 2. And then since then, it's just sort of not gone his way a little bit. Just keeping back the Snake Eyes battle at the moment. He's 11 seconds behind. He's got a long way to go, but the big thing about the Porsche, it's got great speed around here. It looks after its tyres very well. And the more times we look at this car, the more I can say how beautiful it is. It's fantastic looking livery, as is all the cars on the grid, of course. Renegade's had a big moment somewhere, so he did a 1:43.9 last lap. He's been doing a 31s before that, and he was really in the mix of the big swings and dings over in the first lap there. And Petey Pops, P10 at this point, he's just got to dig deep here and try and find something. So, just checking out the chat at the moment, and Bogzilla's just raised a very, very good point, Graham. The first 2 corners are a recipe for disaster. You're really counting on the guys around you to give you some space, and I think spatial awareness is one of those little things around here that can pay dividends in the long run. It's a very, very torturous track here, and just even showing a little bit of space in the middle of battles can save you from being knocked off track.
Yeah, absolutely.
Oh!
Ooh,
Guy with no skills. Yeah, he's just gone off.
He caught that curve and it just turned him left hard.
See if we can get it on a replay. He's having to recover, but he just, runs very, very wide. And he just can't gather it up once he hits the dirt. But he's got a long, long way to go. So he's dropped back to P7 now. He's got to find 5.3 seconds. Snake Eyes starting to range in a little bit now with that. But what this essentially does is bring the podium battle back down to 3 with Womble leading the way at this point. So what we might do is I think we might get a fuel and tyre update from the guys up the front here, courtesy of APR Automotive. Unfortunately, I don't have the technology that Lenocis does of these new PCs, as Benia goes up the inside of the Andretti hairpin. Can he get it done? Yes, he does. Gets it done nice and cleanly. Great move. It looks like Womble might have oh, he's just been hit from behind here. So that's a little bit of a bump and run by the looks of things. Dazza's just gotten through, but there was definitely contact there that sent Womble off. Womble's just got to not see the red mist, so to speak.
And he's down the inside of Benia.
Oh, but yeah, Dazza's got it done. Look at this, surely not. Not too wide up the up towards turn 6. Womble's going to have a look. Surely not. That's a brave move. No, he backs out of it. Oh, to make a move there and to make it stick, you've got to have... Oh, you've got to have a lot of trust in your drivers around you.
And I think there's a reason for Dazza being able to do that on those few corners. So I'll just quickly run through tyre and fuel. We've got Rev sitting 2/3 of a tank, but, well, sorry, between half and 3/4, and he's on softs, and that explains to a fair degree that consistency around 28 seconds a lap. VF's a little bit better fuel, just under 3/4. He's the first of the medium runners. Tyres are in really good shape. Dazza, he's the second runner on softs, and that's one of the reasons he's been pushing through the pack. Fuel's about exactly the same as Rev's, and his front right is a little bit more stress than the runners in front, and I think that's purely because of the pace he's trying to hold and get a bit of a gap on the softs. Benia back on mediums, fuel identical at halfway between or half and 3/4. On mediums, they're in good shape, only a little bit of wear on that right front. Womble on mediums, a little bit better fuel than the others by a touch, and he's also looking after his tyres just a fraction better. Deep Rev, just very similar fuel again. They're all pretty close. He's on racing mediums, and really looking after tyres. I think he's in the McLaren. That's doing a really good job, that car. And Guy with no skills on mediums, probably the best fuel at the moment by a whisker, and looking after tyres as well. Snake Eyes, medium in good shape, fuel's in good shape. These guys are copying each other on their fuel management at the moment, that's for sure. Renegade, identical fuel no matter which brand of car. Racing mediums, and really good condition at the back, and fronts on par with everyone else. Popper's also good fuel, and his tyres, racing medium, look like he's hardly started. That Alpha's really good on the tyres.
Yeah, it's quite...
I think that's it.
It's quite a light car, the Alfa Romeo here, and it's been very, very frugal is probably the best word to say in terms of its tyre and fuel, but we saw last round with the Stranger, it just didn't have the grunt, which is a big, big shock. We'll have to keep eyes on the Division 2 boys just to see if they can do something with it, but Rev's Law, I'm staggered about the soft tyre he took. So
Yeah, to run first on it.
Yeah, and I think I think it was 13 or 14 laps they're looking to do on the soft, if I remember correctly.
Yeah, sort of 17, 13 seems 17 mediums, 13 on softs. But if you look at the times of VF behind him are consistently 129s. Revs is consistently 128s with two 127s thrown in there. So it'll be interesting when the positions are swapped and Revs has to run that 17 laps on mediums.
Yeah, and speaking of numbers as well, guys, in chat, we have got 9 likes so far on the stream tonight. So if you do like what you're seeing, smash that like button because, I want to see 20 likes by the end of the stream. I reckon that might be achievable. So make sure you get in, smash the like button, and hopefully you're having a very, very enjoyable Sunday night. It's been a great weekend in terms of sports all over. Essendon got the win, so a couple of us Essendon supporters are quite happy. And not only that, Matilda's got up, which is huge. And last but not least, Shane Van Gisbergen and Brody Kostecki racing on NASCAR's at Indianapolis Road Course at 4 a.m. So if you've got the no work tomorrow and you're keen to wake up a bit earlier and watch some really heavy NASCARs, there's that. But for now, these boys throwing their weight around here in Division 4. It's been tight. It's been tough. It's still a couple of big battles at the moment. Dazza in P3. Now, there is a little bit of a question mark at the moment in terms of that move on Womble because that definitely had contact. Benier's right behind it. He's just sort of sizing him up, but I wonder if Benier's just decided to maybe sit behind and try and look after the car a little bit as Dazza just runs wide at the rainy curve. Very, very easy to do that. A lot of marbles.
Yeah, that's two different tyre compounds coming into play a bit too. Those softs are pretty much that right front. There's not much left on it.
Yeah, we saw Mr. Bumcrack, his teammate last round, really use up the softs as well, and he was able to make them last, but Benier's really deciding to show the nose a little bit here, put him under pressure. Can Benier get it done? Looks like he's done it very cleanly as well. Great move there for P3, and that's Benier just starting to flex a little bit of that Supra muscle. Speaking of the Supra at the moment, a bit of a chat going on about the Supras as well after the last update. The Group 3 is apparently being brought down a tad. So we will wait and see. Of course, our next round is a big one for us. The Group 3 endurance round at Spa-Francorchamps. And Scouts have already told me from the weather we might be seeing a fair chunk of rain for one of the two divisions. So stay tuned on that. That's going to be spicy little meatball, that's for sure. As Womble here, he's doing a great job in P5 and hoping to capture a glimpse of a couple of new artworks he's added to the car. Of course, he's got the Matildas on the front bonnet as we spoke about, but on top of the roof, one of the very, very important messages we try to get out there, it's okay to talk. And if you're feeling a bit down, feeling a bit alone, reach out. It's always okay to talk to somebody. It ain't weak to speak, hashtag. As Womble's
rounding up. Yeah.
And Womble wants to speak, alright. Showed the nose big time on Dazza, who's really starting to struggle with that soft compound. Jump on the board now with the Red Mist Racing Toyota Supra / BMW.
And it's one of those tracks, plenty of fuel left, but no tyre on the softs.
Oh, looks like Benier's run very, very wide. Doesn't want to be making that mistake at the moment, especially if Womble's hovering around, because a lot of people do give... they do consider Womble's pace a bit on the weaker side. It's one of his weaknesses, but in terms of tyre conservation and being able to really make the car last in fuel and tyres, Womble, he's very, very good at it. He's doing a great job entering turn 5 here. He's actually closing quite a significant amount on Dazza here. He could make a move up in the corkscrew. I think Dazza's probably going to have to look at pitting at some stage. Up the Rahal straight into the corkscrew. What can Dazza do? Has he got an answer for Womble's pace? You can tell by the lap times he's really dropped off. He did a 1 minute 31.1 last lap. A 1 minute 30.6 in the lap before. After that, was 29s all round as Womble goes up. Oh, he thought about it at turn 10. And in comes Dazza, so he's going to live to fight another day, and he's used quite a bit of that fuel. But what that's done inadvertently is brought Dobrev right into this battle as well, because Womble getting stuck behind Dazza's really not helped his cause. He's lost a lot of ground to Benier, but furthermore, Dobrev has actually caught quite a long way up as we go back a bit further, and looks like Porsche v Nissan. Guy with no skills going defensive against Snake Eyes. Snake Eyes shows the nose. Big dive up the inside. He gets it done too. He's going to look for the crisscrosses skills. Oh, he thought about it. Skills definitely gave him a lot of racing room. Was very polite about that one. Snake Eyes goes through. It looks like Skills is starting to struggle in terms of the tyres as well. 1 minute 31s for him. Snake Eyes in the 30s still. And he's only 10 seconds off P5 here, is Snake Eyes. Doing a fantastic job. What I want to keep tabs on at this point as well just is the gap between VF and Revslaw. Sitting at 15 seconds at this point, and VF yet to put the soft compound on Win. Not too sure what the Mercedes is like around here in terms of the fuel and tyre life. Graham, if you've got a bit of experience in this car, have you? What's your thoughts in terms of the fuel and tyres around here for VF? Do you reckon he can catch up quite a bit?
Yeah, good for fuel. You don't really need to worry about it here. And it's certainly on my last stint on the softs last weekend, it was comforting to know you could send it when you needed it to, but it'll run home very comfortably on 13 laps on the soft. And yeah, you won't have to worry about the fuel. And he's in considerably better fuel at the moment than Revs, so that. And his lap time's consistently in the 129s. Revs has just dropped into a 129, but his right front is starting to protest.
Yeah, and it'll be interesting to see actually what the medium compound times are like for Revs. Especially since VF will have to put a soft on, and we know he'll be able to go significantly quicker. He might be able to make that time back up. As we're just
it'll definitely be close.
Just going to keep
tabs. And there will be some fuel difference in the pit stop as well.
Yeah, agreed. And I think it's something like 5 litres per second. So every 5 litres, he's going to make a big difference towards that lead total.
Yeah, so Revs has gone around for his 15th lap, so he wants to minimise the time on the mediums, I think.
Yeah, he's trying to overcut it essentially, which is a very interesting call. It'll help him definitely in the long run in terms of the medium compound, but in terms of the soft, this is when it hurts the most for him, and he wants to make sure that VF, I get those two confused a lot. VF, he wants to make sure that VF can't really make inroads on him, but 15 seconds is quite a long gap. Dobrev is just holding station with Womble here, 2.7 seconds the gap. It's been very strong race from Benier at this point. He's looking for that big result, and he's doing a great job trying to find it. Womble still going through the sand at this point. Running a little bit wider for turn 4. And that menacing V8 you can hear right behind is Dobrev. So, in terms of the fuel and tyre situation here for Dobrev versus Womble, is Womble better off, or is he really struggling at this point?
No, tyres pretty much the same, and Womble's got slightly better fuel, but not a lot in it to make a massive difference in the pit stop.
We'll jump on board now with the CP Motorsports McLaren. It just seems like Womble through the raining curve, just bit of understeer, just front really starting to struggle with the Supra, and this Group 4 Supra, we've seen it before, struggles on those front tyres, really wears them down, relies heavily on it under braking. It's very nose heavy, this car, whereas McLaren, bit more balanced, bit more poised about it. Definitely also.
McLaren really does look after their rear tyres. It does well.
I was about to say as well, the air conditioning system in the Supra weighs considerably more than the one in the McLaren. The McLaren's had a little bit more work done, whereas the Supras are all Bogo stock. They've even got stereos still in them, to be honest. Which I hope Womble hasn't put the Sector 1 stream on Bluetooth in the car, because he'll be able to listen in and hear himself. He's doing a great job, though, as Dobrev runs really wide. So, the gap...
Not sure I picked that up, but Snake Eyes has picked up guy with no skills. He's moved up to 6th in the Porsche.
Yeah, he has. That was that big move into the Andretti hairpin. I think it was like 13. It was a very, very strong move, actually. A lot of confidence as Revs has pitted. So 16 laps on the softs. This is going to be go time now for VF. See if he can get out in front. Revs will definitely have to take fuel at this point. It's been a good, strong drive from VF as well. Very proud of how he's been able to compose himself this race. Dadson team need a big result. It's been a bit of a struggle in this car for the season, and pre-season 7, of course, as VF just runs a little bit wide in the Andretti hairpin, brings the nose back. It was one of those balance of performance updates that, he goes wide. Can't afford to be losing time to Brev. So, let's see where Rev's Laws come out. He doesn't want to be caught out in traffic. He's actually come out in a really good position here. P7. And it looks like he's just going to get out scot-free at this point. He is. So he's got Renegade behind his teammate, who's not going to push up on him. Renegade's had a bit of a rough night. Dazza in P9 now, so the soft compound strategy, he's in clear air at the moment, but now he's on the medium. He's not really going to be able to make too many inroads until the pit stops flourish.
I think we'll see VF come in on this lap. That does his 17 lap stint. He's just struggling a bit with the turn-ins, so he'll come in and go on softs.
Yeah, agreed, and we'll see him come in now. He does. So he's got 8 seconds, roughly. He's definitely better on fuel. He's nearly twice as good on fuel, actually.
Yeah, Amos, they're all peeling in now. Benny of Womble. Oh no, Womble's gone around again.
Yep, interesting call from Womble. He probably wants to have the best amount of tyre life. His times aren't...
Softs,
his times aren't looking overall too bad at this point. See what he does across the line. Low 1 minute 30. That's still really, really good, considering a couple of the guys behind were doing 31s. So he's still got decent pace out there as Womble. That is good. That's a really good sign.
Yeah, and he's been in a couple of scrapes too, so just fighting for position, which uses fuel and tyres. He's done a good job to manage that.
Yeah, he's managed the car really well as Womble. He's doing a fantastic job as Dobrev P2. Only 2.7 behind, so that little off earlier really cost him some time. Snake Eyes is definitely trying to find some inroads here. He's already pitted by the looks of it. Has he? I can't tell.
No, he's gone around again. He's got some fairly decent fuel, but Dobrev will be in this lap.
Yep. So the first...
And I think Womble should, yeah.
Yep. And I think the first of the pit stoppers here, Rev's Law, he's 4.3 clear. He's coming into guy with no skills at a rapid rate of knots. 3.8 seconds, but skills will have to pit. VF has come out and he's... there's the gap there, so he's actually 12 seconds behind by the looks of it.
Yep.
I reckon he would be.
8. 12. Yeah, 12.
Yep.
So he's picked up a little bit of time there. He was 18 seconds. That's that fuel save.
So Dobrev and Womble both coming in now. Watch the CP conglomerate getting ready to come in and service the best media McLaren. It's been a very, very good round so far for CP. A guy with no skills has gone around again. That's big. If a guy with no skills stays out a couple more laps, tries to really make those mediums last, if Rev's Law catches him, this can only really benefit VF.
Yeah, he's got a couple of laps of fuel left. The front right. This is probably the last lap before it totally disappears.
So a few of these guys definitely going to be jumbling up the order a little bit. Betty has come out. And he's going to be in front of Womble. It's tight, though. Now, did Benier start on a soft compound? Or did he... No, he started on the medium.
No. It was just Dazza and Revs were on the soft from the start.
So, this is for sheep stations here in P4, which will be basically P3 once Guy with No Skills pits. Speaking of which, that gap between Skills and Revs Law is well and truly slashed down.
So, something to think about. 11.5 laps to go. 10.5 laps to go. They're on lap 19 and 12.4 seconds. And Revs will be on mediums and BF is on softs. Well, anything could happen.
Well, speaking of anything could happen here, a guy with No Skills does not actually have to move over. He can defend this position. Strategy-wise, he's well and truly out of it. But in terms of actual track position, he doesn't really have to give up this position if he doesn't want to. Albeit, he'll just cost himself time by doing so, which is not really what he wants to do as he goes wide.
He's off.
Oh, can he bring it off? That'll be twitchy for Revs Law. Gets it done. Good job by...
Revs to keep away. Yeah, that right front it's gone now, so it was just processing too hard.
Yeah, and it was a good job by a guy with No Skills to actually rest that car back and not have an absolute pile driver of an accident there and ruin Revs Law's race. That would have been astronomically heartbreaking for Revs, and not only that, Skills would have been absolutely shattered if that happened. But now that there's a critical factor in this, if VF decides to play hardball here and start catching right up, Skills will be the cork in the bottle for that one. So, I wonder what's happened to... Oh, Debrev's pitted here. I wonder what's happened to... What's going on here with Debrev? He's still in the pits at the moment. So this is drama. This is huge. Debrev was fighting Womble for the podium, and now... That's massive. So that is a get out of jail free card at this point to Womble. So something has seriously happened.
He's got a message up, stuck in the pits.
Oh no. So something as big has happened there. It wouldn't be the... I don't think it would be the pit glitch that we saw trouble the grids earlier in GT7's infancy, because we saw that once one car had this issue, every car in the pit lane had this issue. I'm not confident, but that is...
Wondering if you can force the fuel. No.
No. So that is disastrous for Debrev. He really didn't need that. He was on the cusp of fighting for the podium. And Womble, he's going to have to do some work now. He's 6 seconds behind Benier, so Benier's actually gone. So Womble's podium aspirations himself are gone. Unless Womble can find some low 20s. Well, at this point, he might need to go into the teens, so they might have to de-restrict the turbochargers of the Supras here. Have a look who's in P6 at the moment here. Snake Eyes. Had that...
And rapidly closing.
Yeah, he had that big accident at turn 2. He's fought valiantly to come back from last by quite a significant way behind to P6 as Dazza just clipped the grass heading onto, or what's left of the grass heading to Rahal Straight. And Snake Eyes, he's just doing one of the big things that quite a lot of people don't really do. Oh, Dazza! Dazza's gone round at the corkscrew! That is huge! See if we can get that on the replay. So Dazza just, clipped the inside way too hard. And that's his race pretty much with Snake Eyes done. So Skills can still catch up here, but what this has done, and Skills will be on the freshest tyres in the field, what this has done is put Snake Eyes into net P5 What a recovery drive from the ISA Esports driver. It takes a lot of character to get hit off, especially in the first lap, and try and find your way back and try and fight towards a good result. And Snake Eyes has done an absolutely incredible job of just keeping his head down, trying to salvage something. And he's, at this point of the race, still got 8 laps. He's got a car that's really working well for him. And not only that, he's got 2 Toyota Supras, a Mercedes that'll hold its tyres real well, and a Nissan that's a bit too far ahead, but those Supras could come into play. So technically, Snake Eyes, although he's got a lot of time to find, he could find himself very well trying to fight for the podium here.
Yep, still 8 laps. Just looking at Rebs and Rebs and VF. VF's pulled about 1.7 seconds out of him since, 1.2 seconds out since the pit stop. But Rebs is driving like a machine. He's down into low 129s on mediums, 129.2, 129.1. Yeah, just he's going well.
Yeah, I think he's definitely got the bit between the teeth as Revs and realised that the medium compound, he's going to lose a bit of time to VF, and sure enough, he's going to have to fight the hard way. VF...
I mean, there's still time for VF.
Yeah, I was about to say.
It'll be a hard one, yeah.
His consistency's good at the moment too. 28.9, 28.9, 29.1, and his fastest lap before them was a 28.7. So he's doing very consistent lap times in that Mercedes. Looking very strong indeed. Just go down the field a little bit. There's a little bit of a battle brewing here with Dazza and ISA Renegade. Renegade's starting to catch up a little bit. Renegade done his fastest lap of the race at 29.218 last lap, so he's found some big time here. While Dazza knows he's let a big result go. He's done a 1 minute 40 and a 1 minute 33 last lap, so skills got around him, and if Dazza's not careful, he could be at the mercy of Renegade. And he's
someone else on an absolute mission. Snake Eyes, 128.1 race. 0.1 race lap, and he's just pulled 3 seconds back on Wombles, you know, pretty much in a lap and a half.
Yep, he's definitely got the eyes forward. Been trying to think of a decent pun for a Snake Eyes with his when he's on like this. So we call him Viper Mode. He's definitely looking to take P4 here. Womble though. It's a very good result for Womble. He's been in the doldrums a little bit, and he's one of those drivers that's very harsh on himself when he makes a mistake or if something goes wrong. But he picks himself up and dusts himself off, and due to his car management, he's done a great job, but he's going to have to work hard here for the next 6 laps.
And in a solid points position too in P4.
Yeah, a much needed result for Red Mist to have struggled a little bit this season. They've had the package in the Toyota Supra, but they just haven't been able to really connect with it. Of course, they've had the loss of a driver due to medical issues in Scotty Smiths, or Smid, mate. But they gained a good one in PLE Black Friday, who has pulled out some really good results for them.
Oh, Dazza's wide and...
Oh, yep.
Renegade through. There
we go. So, yeah, I think Dazza might be just overdriving the car a little bit. We've got to go down to PD Pops here at P9, and I think, to be honest, by the final round at Monza, he might be wanting to get out of Italy as quick as he can, I reckon, and never see the Alpha again by the looks of it, because he's had an absolutely horrid run in terms of luck. As he's got the blue flag right now, as Revslaw is starting to get away from him, and VF's starting to close in on him. And it's really one of those demoralising feelings when you... Oh, here we go. Just looking at the chat, Lenocis has poked in about our Snake Eyes joke, rolling the dice. Yeah, we'll pay that one. I think with 5 laps to go, though, it's definitely starting to heat up between the battle with Womble and Snake Eyes himself. Womble's got... what's he looking like on tyres compared to, say...
Very similar. Very similar. Womble's a little bit less fuel, but I'm just trying to work out what's he got. 5 full laps to go. He should get home on that. Snake Eyes got a little bit better fuel, but yeah, the tyres are, not much in it.
Yeah, it's going to be pretty tight there. Just looking at the crossover period for Revs Law and VF as well. VF wasn't faster that last lap. A 29.5 for Revs Law, a 29.9 for VF, who obviously is having to contend with PD Pops in front of him. So that'll be a bit of a distraction, but he's still pretty happy with a P2 VF. Yeah,
I think Womble's got a little bit of strife coming behind him. Snake Eyes down to 2.3. He's just done 4 consecutive 28s on the softs.
This Cayman GT4 Club Sport's really got the bit between the teeth at the moment. Wait and see when Snake Eyes will strike. He's got a lot to fight for here too, because after that lap 1 crash, he'll be looking for the strongest possible result. Porsche's definitely a good car. From experience, it grips very, very well, and its party piece, even when it has properly worn tyres, it can still corner and grip very, very well, whereas a couple of the cars in the field, like the Supra, they really struggle once the tyres go. I reckon we're going to be getting to a grandstand finish here, so guys in chat, make sure you settle in, because this battle between Womble and Snake Eyes is about to heat up. We'll go on board the Red Mist Racing Green Beacon Supra, and that gap, 1.3 seconds, you can see it at its closing. That Porsche under brakes is just so poised and balanced. I reckon at this point, as we look forward as well at that beautiful decal of the Go Matildas, that's how much detail is in this livery. Absolutely phenomenal, by the way. Let's see if we can get a better look at it, but yeah, no, absolutely heroic job. It actually is a spitting image of Sam Kerr as we look behind it. Snake Eyes definitely starting to push.
Yeah, under a second.
So, let's see how strong the bite is here of Snake Eyes. Is it going to be like a little green tree snake, or is it going to be the full-blown inland taipan?
Poised like a cobra.
Yep. He's just starting to hiss a little bit. It's probably the best way of saying it. Are these snake jokes really working, guys in chat? Let us know. But yeah, Snake Eyes definitely P4. If he gets this P4, I dare say, yeah, driver of the day.
Yep.
And it'd be tight because Womble's done a fantastic job. So has VF for that matter, but you can hear him revving the boxer motor right out. The ISA Esports guys, brand new squad to the series. Found them going a little bit tough early on, but they've done a fantastic job to pull back as Womble goes very, very wide. Don't want to get too wide at the end, ready hairpin. Very easy to lose time, or even worse, still go off into the sand. And as we know from touring Pebble Beach earlier in the week, it is rough out there. Oh, Womble's just starting to struggle a little bit with the oversteer of this car.
Yeah, just comms from Debrev. He's tried everything to get out of the pits. No, not working.
Ah, that's so heartbreaking for Debrev. Yep, still stuck as well. I think... Oh, I wonder if the brake fluid's just... I wonder if the brakes are stuck on, or... Oh, I don't know, but... Back up the front at the moment. Revs Law, 11.1 seconds to the good. VF has got a 10.7 second gap to Benier, who's 9 seconds in front of this absolute battle between Womble and Snake Eyes. It's really starting to heat up at the moment. You can see in the mirror, the ISA Esports Porsche is definitely closing in on the Toyota Supra from Red Mist. Womble goes wide. Is this Snake Eyes' big move? It's gone around the outside. Surely not. Surely not. What a move. That is a fantastic move. We'll see if we can catch that one on replay. The cameraman's not the best of cameramen at this point, but outside of turn 11, what a move.
Yeah, and good racing from Womble too, knowing that, you know, he had a fast car like that bearing down on him, and, you know, he made sure that it was good clean for both of them through the corner.
Yeah, that was a great move around the outside. That's one of those big moves that, yeah. I was absolutely flabbergasted by that. Seriously.
Yeah, but it's not over yet either. He's holding the gap.
Yeah, and I think at this point you want to make sure that you just can try and get away a little bit. We'll wait and see what happens though. Benny now 9.3 seconds clear, so he's got nothing to worry about from behind or in front as they enter the second last lap. Or in actually it's the last lap. Woof, time's flown by real quick, hasn't it? So, guys in chat, we're going to have to seriously start thinking about the Womble Award and who is going to take that one. There's some heroic drives at the moment. You've got to start thinking about VF. VF's P2 at the moment. It's done an incredible job. Womble's still trying to fight this one over with Snake Eyes.
He's trying to fight it, and he's the guy that's fuel compromised between the two of them.
Oh no!
So he would have been close. He would have been close to having a full lap, but yeah, he's got the red, the fuel tanks flashing at him, so he's not going down without a fight.
And he's got the slipstream too, which really benefits him. So he could short shift just a little bit here and launch an attack towards the end of the lap. Porsche is absolutely singing.
Oh, good run through there for Womble.
Yep, agreed. He looked very, very clean. I don't think he's going to quite get him, though. Oh, Womble had a big look. We've got to go back up to the front, though. We've just missed Revslaw crossing the line. He's that far ahead.
Great race. VF second.
Great job by VF there. Benier coming across the line now in P3. But we've got to go back, and Womble has had a big moment. There's been a big lock of oversteer. So Womble's obviously tried to have a real dip at it. P4 will be Snake Eyes. Womble in 5th. That is a great move. He'll be glad about that one. Guy with no skills in P6 on a very alternative strategy. Isa Renegade as well, just coming around the final corner now in P7. And Dazza will finish off with P8. Petey pops in 9th. And unfortunately, Debrev with a DNF due to something going horribly wrong in terms of the braking side of things. But massive congratulations does go to Revslaw. An absolutely fantastic drive. 9 seconds of the good. Is there anybody that can stop the Division 4 championship leader?
Yeah, absolute control drive on both softs and medium compounds, and he managed that gap very well within 2 or 3 seconds over the whole.
Yeah, incredible drive. How do you stop a guy like Revslaw at this point?
put him into Division 2, missed Division 3.
Yeah, I think he'd be making some shockwaves, that's for sure. But yeah, that was huge. See, Revslaw there for Hooncorp Esports. He's done an incredible job. So yeah, that is just an incredible race to watch. It really was. lot of biff and barge early on that these guys were pretty pretty keen to get on with things. But yeah, I'm pretty stoked with that. Anyway, looking at the chat, debating about the Womble Award. Womble goes to Womble from Lenocis. Carbon Boy has said VF. Driver of the Day, Snake Eyes from Shizer. Womble and Snake, great battle. That's from Bogzilla. Budsy's going for Snake Eyes as well. ISA Renegades also apologised to Snake Eyes about their contact. It did look like a little bit of a race, like a bit of an accident, so all's well ends well. Tim said Snake Eyes driver of the day, kept his cool and made a huge comeback. Blind Man has said from second to last and then back to P4. Def Snake Eyes driver of the day. Graham, I don't know. I'm going to ask you on this one. Who's your pick for driver of the day?
Look, I really, there are a couple of guys there. The consistency of second and third, just the way they managed the race. Revs as well, but Snake Eyes, he was a long way back. And to see him come forward like that and do it quite convincingly, yeah, he gets my vote for driver of the day. Yeah,
agreed. And I think it's one of those big races that I think he's done an incredible job. And I think for me, driver of the day, I'd be lying if I said that it was going to go to anyone other than Snake Eyes. Seriously, that was a incredible event, incredible result for Snake Eyes to be hit on lap 2 and then get turned around and fight back that well. That is an incredible drive. So yeah, I think Snake Eyes might just get the chocolates. Looking at the chat, I think a lot of people seem to agree. So yeah, I reckon we will start looking forward to Division. What division have we got now? Oh, Division 2, that's right. Bloody, I've got to get that one right. I'm racing that one. But anyway, Graham, did you enjoy yourself tonight?
My word, had a bit of a sore throat, but yeah, we got through it. But no, I really like the racing did for puts up every week, and like we said, 9 drivers sharing spots 2 and 3 on the podiums over 7 rounds. It just shows the depth and what any particular driver in this class can do on any given night.
Yep, agreed. So I do want to thank Graham for stepping in and giving us his time as well, Racing Division 3. Good luck for the upcoming rounds as well. And we'll definitely see you at Spa-Francorchamps next round for the endurance. So get those miles in, Graham.
Absolutely.
Now, everybody make sure you do smack the like button. And we're still sitting at about 15 likes at the moment. We are aiming for the big 20, the big 20. So make sure you get it in. And we're just going to take a quick 5-minute break just to get ourselves all organised and at least try and get the keys back to the main comms box that Lenocis has left in. So stay tuned. We'll be back for more. And we are back here at Laguna Seca. We've tried everything in vain until one man arrived. And he has not only just been able to get the door open to the main comms box, but he has kicked it down so hard that, the hinges are now broken. There is splintered wood everywhere. And he will not care one little bit, and he's not going to fix it. So, big welcome to Carbon Boy. How are you? How are you, Carbon Boy?
Mate, did you want to get into the comms box or not?
I did. I'll be honest, I definitely did. You actually helped because Graham was considering coming in, and he's just decided to stay behind, and he's also coming to the comms box with us. So Graham's still here, aren't you, Graham?
Certainly am. It's those free beers that Carbon Boy bought, so always up for a free one.
So, looking very much forward to Division 2. It's going to be an absolute slobber knocker, and speaking of the championship aspect of things, it has definitely changed completely over the last few rounds, as our man in the comms box that usually is in here, but has decided to leave the keys in a mad bid to get to his car. Lenocis on top, 175 points. He's 8 points clear of Old Wakey, who is putting together an absolutely fantastic season. Stickers in P3 for Lightning Motorsport, 157. Only 5 points ahead of Lenocis, who has done a fantastic job in his rookie season for Blacklight. Really showing how good the Ferrari can be. Evil Evo in P5 at the moment for the Alfa Romeos of Doghouse. DP Mario in 6th, the crazy good Kung Fu, has been on quite the roll lately. Started off a bit rough, but he's been coming back with a vengeance. He's P7 at the moment. We are missing Race Fan, as far as I'm aware, for tonight's event in P8. And we have no idea where KarenUnleashed is. We're not even going to go there. So, no, don't worry about him. P9. Pat Star, P10 as well for Doghouse. Dadson in P11 for Dadson Racing, of course. PLE Black Friday stepping in for Smidmate in P12. He's going to be making some hay while the sun shines in terms of the point side of things. Maverick in, aka Cruisin' in P13. And, of course, Salazar Black, who's unfortunately had to step out for the remainder of the season for ISA Esports. But that is the points and the way they look. And I reckon, Carbon Boy, who do you reckon who's looking quick?
Well, as always, I've always going to favour my teammate. Lenocis has been looking pretty good in the practice sessions we've had during the week so far. Another one to watch is Old Mate Old Wakey, of course. Stickers, the usual suspect, basically. But someone else some other drivers I would definitely keep my eye on tonight would be DP Mario in the Sylvia, PLE not PLE, I've gone and messed up the drivers here. CGK in the Cayman Club Sport, he's for ICER. There's another one I'd definitely keep my eye on. And Evil Evo pulling a sneaky in the Alfa Romeo for Doghouse Motorsport.
Oh, that is a sneaky little call there. But I reckon when you're ready, we will get into some qualifying action from...
Sorry, I just had to sort out a few little bugs we were having with a couple of drivers getting stuck up in the pit lane, but I think we have that solved at this point.
Yep, I'm looking very much forward to this one.
Nothing like a little bit of on-the-fly troubleshooting.
Yep, which we've been famous for in Gran Turismo 7. So... we will get onto the track right now. Let me just get this all sorted. There we go. Oh, these computers are so much better. So, let's go down to qualifying. There we go. And I'll tell you what, Lenocis has done a fantastic job in terms of how these computers really, really look here in the comms box. No wonder he's keeping me out of these. Anyway, we're just seeing all the drivers coming out now, and I'm looking very much forward to this. The track is a little bit warmer. And that might not help the chances of the Alpha crew, especially Evil Evo who's leading the charge at the moment. The Alphas have really struggled here. We thought they'd be a car that would really dominate this track, and it's just not had the grunt. But like Carbon Boys just said, they are... Well, he's a sneaky chance to get up there, so hopefully he brings home a big, big result. Dadson... He will be buoyed by the big result of VF in the last race. He's looking very much forward to getting a strong run here. The Mercedes does like this track quite a lot. our championship leader, Lenocis, in the APR Motorsport Obsession entry, and this is the man to beat at the moment. He is well and truly in the title frame. He's almost looked untouchable at times in Division 2, and he's very, very quick. Make no bones about it. Pat Star also for Doghouse Motorsport in the red version. I'm not sure which of the Ninja Turtles that is, but we'll gloss over that at some stage.
Raphael from memory.
Ah, true. To Lunacy, who's coming in already, so he's made his strategic choice very, very early, driving for the Blacklight Motorsport Ferrari.
Yeah, I did see that. I did see him start out on the medium tyre coming out of the pits, and thought that was an interesting choice for qualifying. But I mean, who am I to tell a faster division what to do?
Yeah, and it's one of those things that Blacklight have pulled rabbits out of hats all season long. So expect a rabbit out of the hat for Cruisin', who's also looking for a big result tonight in the Blacklight Ferrari, especially for the Good Doctor's birthday.
Those Ferraris are definitely one to watch, especially off the line and with the Good Doc's birthday. Happy birthday, by the way, old mate. I think both drivers in the Lunacy and Cruisin' will be aiming to put on a good performance for their team owner tonight.
PLE Black Friday looking for a big, big result here for Red Mist Racing Green Beacon, and make no bones about it, he's starting to get the hang of how Sector 1 works. He's only had a couple of rounds here, and he's getting quicker and quicker with each session, so he is probably the dark horse for tonight's race, I believe. DP Mario for Black Rose, and seeing Rev's Law after the last race, he knows that the Sylvia's got the pace to do it. He had a very aggressive strategy at Watkins Glen. We've got Stiggers, the team owner of Lightning Motorsport, and he is looking for a big, big result. It's been a bit of a struggle the last couple of rounds. Suffered greatly at Watkins Glen. We've got Kung Fu, who's CGK, who's ICE's esports spearhead at the moment, and he's doing a great, great job of trying to lead the charge. He's had a couple of big podiums. As we've seen Lenocis take pole position so far with a 1 minute 27.071. That is absolutely astonishing, that lap time. And he's purple again too. We'll jump on board with the APR Motorsport Obsession entry.
Has got a bit of a cheeky slipstream from the prospector himself, so he'd be definitely using that to his advantage.
Yeah, he'd be digging for more lap time here. Dadson, he's got a slipstream as well ahead of him in an Evil Evo, but Lenocis at this point's purple. He doesn't want to get held up at the corkscrew though. It's very, very easy to get held up there. He's well and truly pole time though. He's nearly half a second ahead as they enter the corkscrew. One thing about this track, you want to keep your mid-corner speeds up as much as you can. Through the rainy curve, you want to, if you start to understeer a little bit, you just lightly tap the brake, get the nose to dig in, and it'll come around for you. As Lenocis comes in on a purple. That's interesting. As Old Wakey runs a little bit wide, and Old Wakey's in as well. So, looks like at this stage it's Evil Evo. Goes to P5. That's a great lap. And Dadson goes to P2. P2!
DP Mario coming into the pits as well.
The prospector's been digging for gold, and he's found silver at the very least. That's a huge result.
In the pits. Black Friday in the pits. Stickers in the pits.
So it looks like this is a good time to be coming into the pits then.
Well, I wouldn't have imagined that in a 10-minute qualifying session here you would have any need to go into the pits, but again, who am I to tell a faster division what to do? that's definitely going to cost the Ferrari on the run up the hill.
Oh,
Well, that was a pucker moment there. No. Yeah, I've just been riding on board with him because I was surprised to see him so far down the order as well. But he is on an outlap with a fresh set of softs on, and he's managed to burn off a bit of fuel weight. So I'll keep an eye on him this lap to see. I'll be very surprised if he doesn't make his way a few spots up the leaderboard at the very least. Sticker's just coming across the line now. Puts himself up into P9, one spot improvement. He did have a bit of a shocker last round at Watkins Glen. With that incident through the bus stop chicane on the first lap, putting himself into the fence, unfortunately. The Lunacy just quietly, P3. Sandbags, cough.
Oh, no, fair bit of practice, fair bit of practice. And good teammates.
Oh, yes. Hashtag no bias. Finding 4/10ths around here is a big ask.
Oh, Dadson's off.
I don't want to jinx him here, but on the final lap, I'm just keeping an eye on DP Mario, who's currently sitting in P6. He's up on his best time, and if he keeps this up, he could be threatening the top 3. Oh, Oh,
DP's.
purple. Correct. Old Wakey. Oof. It's not over yet. Oh. Yeah, did not have a great final sector. Improves on his personal. Wow.
So everybody in chat, let's just see how we can... who's going to win this one? Whew. I reckon... Yeah, I can't pick this grid. I really, really can't pick this grid. Luke, who do you think's going to... What's the big surprise from this one?
The big surprise from qualifying? The big surprise for me is some familiar names being a bit further down the starting grid than I would have imagined them to be. As for picking a winner, I mean, how can I not back my teammate to win? But if I'm going to ignore my teammate, I mean, old Wakey's.
Yeah, that's a lap.
He'd be a safe bet. He'd be looking close to $1 even odds.
And chat just letting me know that the microphone was off. Yeah, I do apologise about that one. The whole qualifying session was very, very quiet from my end, and I figured out why. It's Karen doing Karen things. So, yeah, let's just gloss over that very, very quickly and get into the race. All
right, let's kick it off then. Let's go.
Yeah, all right, let's get into it. Division 2. Well, it's going to be very, very hard to pick this one. Strap yourselves in, guys. Make sure you got yourselves some beers, some chips, some soft drinks, or in the Hall of Famer Brocky's case, water. As we get down to Division 2. It's going to be pretty down and dirty, that's for sure. These guys are not going to muck about. We see 1 light, 2 lights, 3 lights, 4 lights, 5 lights. And in the eyes of a team owner that's spoken to one of these guys, yabba dabba doo, let's get racing. Lenocis has decided to already put the nose up the inside. The Ferraris are hunting into turn 1. They're not going to go 4 wide at the Andretti hairpin. Surely not. There's a little bit of bump and grind. Lenocis...
They're not going to go 4 wide, but they'll certainly go 3 wide.
Lenocis gets his way. He'll take the lead. Old Wakey will have to fight off the Ferraris.
Or Dadson gets checked up, who in turn checks up Evil Evo and the Lunacy. Let's DP Mario on through.
So Lenocis just, he was challenged at turn 1. And it didn't really matter either way. As Evil Evo's just a bit of a cork in the bottle at the moment. There is a bit of a bump and grind between Black Friday and DP Mario. Oh, Mario's looking to head up on the inside as they go into the Rahal straight. A little bit wide there from Black Friday, and he's off, and he smacks the wall.
Wide.
That was a big, big hit, but that's put him down to last place. These guys are fighting tooth and nail so early for these positions. As we go back up to the front now, and Lenocis is 0.8 of a second clear already. So this is danger signs for the rest of the field. Old Wakey in P2, cruising in third. A fantastic start by Cruising.
With his teammate right behind him in the slipstream.
Oh, there's been contact down the field. Stickers is gone. So something big has happened to Stickers.
With the way PLE Black Friday is checking himself up on the straights, I'd say he may have something to do with it.
And there will be pens clicking in the Stewards Lounge. You can bet on that if there's been contact. Looking up towards this mid-pack at the moment. DP Mario has found himself a little bit of space, but he's got to get to work. 2 seconds.
Also an Evil Evo back in P11.
Yeah, he's
with the Stickers getting off the gas after turn 2.
Has there been a bit of a coming together between the three? Ooh.
I can't comment on that. I didn't see anything.
Yeah, we'll not comment on that one and let the stewards decide as Lenocis is trying to get away from Old Wakey at the moment, who's been able to keep pace. Cruising P3 at the moment. That is an incredible job from someone that absolutely adores the Ferrari. And that's a man who's had a couple of big results, but a couple of downsides as well. He had a bit of a struggle at Watkins, Glen. He's on the podium at the moment. He will be absolutely loving this as Dadson in P4. Struggling in terms of just the early pace of the Mercedes. Just not coming up to temp yet with the tyres. And he's got Lunacy all over him. You see the mirrors full of Blacklight Motorsport Ferrari. Runs a little bit wide, this Dadson. He'll be wanting a big, big result after that huge qualifying session, Jadson. He's doing a great job at the moment, up against one of the big, big rookies this season, to Lunacy. Lunacy thinking about a move. Dadson covers it off. So, I wonder what happened at the final corner. It seems like there was a lot of drama between Stickers, Evil Evo, and Black Friday. As Dadson's really getting in the hurry up here as Lunacy. Oh, Dadson goes extremely defensive. Lunacy setting him up for the switchback though. That Ferrari very, very light on the second half of the corkscrew. Heading now into Rainy Curve, and Lunacy definitely looks like he's got the pace right now to get a move done.
It looks like he's just being very careful about what moment he picks to make that overtake.
Speaking of moves and overtaking, look who's in P6 at the moment and under pressure from Crazy Good Kung Fu. DP Mario. So CGK started P9.
Oh, hang on.
Oh.
Lunacy's going around the outside into turn 1.
Yeah, Tadson really making him work for it. Prospect is saying, well, if you want my gold, you're going to have to dig a bit deeper. This is a great battle, it really is.
If you want that position, you're taking it the hard way, around the outside.
Exactly right. Guys in chat are just letting me know as they're actually giving me quite a bit for the microphone being off during qualifying. Karen doing Karen things, let's just leave it there. Anyway, Lunacy, I feel has got a bit more pace in the tank than Dadson at this point of the race. I wonder if did he start on a soft compound and Dadson maybe on a medium?
I will say that Dadson and the Lunacy are on the same compound.
Ooh. Alright then, keep your secrets. Anyway, Lunacy making a... he's just showing the nose left, right and centre. Dadson not really budging on this. what this battle's doing for CGK and DP Mario, they're falling behind at this point. CGK definitely looking for a move now. He's going to throw it up the inside on turn 11. Sends it in. Can he hold position? DP Mario gives him lots of room. CGK gets it done, but there's a big crossover now. And speaking of moves up the front, Lunacy's got the inside run heading into the Andretti hairpin. Can he get it done? They both break really, really late. Little bit of paddle rubbing. Lunacy gets it done. That was a stout defense there by Dadson, but see if we get that on replay.
Speaking of stout defence, DP Mario's managed to hold on to his P6 for now. Sylvia just having that much better run down the main straight over the Porsche, and was able to hold it down the inside around turns 1 and 2. But don't think that CGK is going to go away anytime soon. We're on lap 5 of a 30-lap race, so settle in. It's going to be quite the show, I think.
Yeah, especially up the front at the moment. Lenocis, 2.2 seconds to the good. Set the fastest lap of the race with a 1 minute 27.316. So his pace sitting very, very strong indeed, and that's ominous signs. Old Wakey, if he wants this championship, is going to have to start digging a little bit. We've already seen quite a lot of digging at the moment, actually, in terms of the Dadson and Lunacy battle. And now CGK, he's just going to have to find something here, because Mario's putting on a fantastic defense.
Speaking of ominous signs, there's an ominous sign looking at the tyre wear indicators on the Ferraris, just saying.
Ooh. Bad or good?
Well, it ain't great, let's put it that way.
Ooh. Ooh, that's a bit rough. So, it's making me start to think at the moment. Pat Star in P8, PLE Black Friday, P9 at the moment. So these guys that were caught in the chaos, trying to find their way back. Evil Evo in 10th and Stickers in P11th, who's, yeah, he's not having the best of runs tonight. So, in that regard, speaking of tyres and fuel and all that jazz, and I'm very, very curious, I think it's time for a little bit of a fuel and tyre update.
It's just your curiosity, mainly, isn't it?
Yep, so we'll go to our sponsor of our fuel and tyre updates, APR Automotive. Unfortunately, I don't have the graphic, but anyway. Lenocis' car will do.
Right, so Lenocis up in P1 is just under 3/4 of a tank of fuel. He is on the Racing Soft compound. The front right is at about 50% wear, with the rear right at about 35% wear. Old Wakey is a couple of percent worse off for fuel and a few percent extra wear on the front right. He's also on the Racing Soft compound, but his rear tyres are slightly better for wear at about 25%. Back in P3, Cruisin' is also on the Racing Soft compound with his front right tyre at about 60% wear. With the rear right tyre, oddly enough for the Ferrari, at about 25% wear, and just under 3/4 of a tank of fuel. A few seconds behind him is his teammate Lunacy, is on the Racing Medium compound, the first of the medium runners. He is on about 65–70% fuel, and about 20% wear on the front right, maybe 10% on the rear. Dadson is also on the medium compound, pretty much identical for fuel to the Lunacy. It's about 25% worn on the front right and about 10% worn on the rear. DP Mario also on the Racing Medium compound, doing quite well for fuel on about 70% of a tank. As we know with the Sylvia, the rear tyres barely wear at all, so he's got about 20% wear on the front right, maybe 5% on the rear. CGK, who is still on Mario's rear bumper, is on the Racing Medium compound also, so they are on equal tyre footing. He's a little bit worse off for fuel, only by a couple of percent. And for tyre wear, he's on about 25% on the front right, maybe 15% on the rear, which is, I find, odd for a rear-engine, rear-drive car. Patstar, the first of the Alpha runners tonight on the racing medium, is doing very well for fuel. He's on about 65% and doing even better for tyres. He's got about 5% wear front and rear. So the little Alpha being very light-footed and barely scrubbing his tyres. I mean, if it wore its tyres any less, I would doubt that it's even putting any temperature into them. PLE Black Friday is on the racing soft compound. He's looking at about 50% wear on his front right tyre, maybe 30% on his rear, and he's down to about 65% fuel in the tank. A little bit further behind him on track is Evil Evo in the other Doghouse Motorsport Alpha, also on the racing medium compound. He's on about 65% fuel and I'd say 7 to 8% wear on his front and rear tyres. And unfortunately, to see a bit further down the field than I expected is stickers on the racing medium compound with maybe 15 to 20% wear on both of his front and rear tyres. Doing rather well for fuel though at this stage. He's just hit the 70% mark in the tank.
Thank you, Carbon Boy. That's a fantastic job as always. And I have to mention it is sponsored by APR Automotive. And I'm pretty keen to see what kind of pace these two in front have, being on the, or these three actually being on the soft compound, and seeing where Lunacy stacks up at this point, because he's not that far behind these guys. And that 8.9 seconds, it's not really escalating that quick.
I'm keen to see what kind of strategy Cruisin pulls out tonight, because we're on lap 9. His front right tyre is 80% gone. Like, ooh. 85% gone.
Ooh.
So he's going to be looking at doing, ideally, this lap plus one more on these softs, and then it's gone. Which means he's somehow got to manage 20 laps on a set of mediums, which, in a Ferrari?
Yeah, that's... Ooh.
You'd be doing better than me, not going to lie.
Now, I just want to get a word in with our pit correspondent slash beer tester, Graham, if he's still in the comms box here. Any thoughts on any of the drivers in particular so far, Graham? Is there anyone that you've kept your eye on?
Yeah, look, just before Luke said about Cruisin, I've been very impressed with his run. He's kept that gap to 4.5, low 5 second, but very consistent lap times, 1:28 from the end of the first lap. So doing a really good job, and Lunacy is the other mover. And those guys are both on different tyres. So for Lunacy to be within 9 seconds of the lead, being the first of the medium runners, I think it's also a really solid run.
Speaking of movers as well, Crazy Good Kung Fu's gotten past DP Mario after what seemed like an eternity, and has already pulled out a 1.2 second lead, and it looks like Pat Star's going on defensive here against Black Friday. The Doghouse Motorsport Alpha's got a very, very fast Toyota Supra from Red Mist right behind them. Black Friday definitely the... seems like he was the one that was caught the most in the soup of turn 1.
Just keeping an eye on Lenocis, he's gone past the pit entry, as has Old Wakey and Cruisin. All three of those drive, as has the Lunacy and Dadson. But those top three are almost down to the canvas on those front right tyres. So how much further they go will be...
Well, it'll be interesting to see in terms of where the Ferrari stacks up in its state, because we know the Supra, when it wears the tyres out, it's very understeery, whereas the Ferrari, because the engine's in the rear, could it just have that little bit more balance in the front end to start inking some time out? That's the big question here. Because we haven't really seen any of the Ferraris run except for Black Project, who didn't do this strategy, so he's definitely... He's well and truly in contention. He's 6.3 seconds behind.
Well, Cruisin is doing a fantastic job to keep that gap to the Supra in front of him of Old Wakey at about the 1.7 to 1.8 second mark.
Oh, he just put the moz on him a little bit. It's about to hit 2 seconds as he ran wide through turn 6.
Well, to be fair, he has no front right tyre left, as does Old Wakey. Like, there's nothing there. As Lenocis approaches a pit lane entry, goes around again. Old Wakey, what does he do? Goes around again. Cruising, goes around again. Mike, are you people crazy? The Lunacy goes around again.
I think
They're
you
still
guys
doing
are nuts.
128s.
that's alien times, seriously.
These guys on ball tyres are doing faster laps than I do on half-worn tyres. Just
Well, they're doing faster lap times than I was full stop on fresh ones, so...
well, actually, I'm going to claim that I have that. I'm going to claim that I have the handicap of the 8.6. I'm just going to leave it at that.
So, we have hit 20 plus likes in terms of the stream itself, which was the goal for tonight. Fantastic. Yeah, very, very happy about that one. But let's see if we can get it now to 25. So, smack the like button, guys. Let's see if we can get it there.
Ooh, hello. PLE Black Friday is right on the rear bumper of Patstar.
Yeah, that gap seemed to have extended a tiny bit, and then seems like PLE Black Friday's been able to fight back. He's definitely showing a lot of the nose. The Alpha's superior grip. Oh, look at the drive the PLE gets, though.
Well, PLE is in the Supra versus the Alpha. He's also on the racing soft compared to Patstar on the medium, so... I think Black Friday getting past is a matter of when, not if. As he...
Oh, just ran really wide again. He's been caught out twice there at turn 6.
Oh, that's deja vu right there. As Lenocis pulls into the pits. Old Wakey follows him in.
He's cruising. Cruising goes around again, so that's interesting.
Cruising, are you aware that your front tyres are completely bald? Just
wait,
wondering, mate.
What this could be, he's got Lunacy behind him. Lunacy could very well catch up with a bit of a slipstream. This could be a bit of a team play here. Ooh, that's...
Not if he understeers into turn 1 like that.
Yeah, that was a bit of a hold your breath moment. And Dadson's gone around again as well, so Dadson's doing a great job to sort of just stick there or thereabouts. And he's still quick as well, Dadson. He's going in... Well, he's setting personal bests at this point. So, let's just see where Lenocis comes out. He's coming out in clear track. That was critical. And
DP Mario's pitted.
Coming
off the mediums, onto the softs, with 17 laps to go.
That's a 2-stop.
Well, I know the Sylvia's really good for its rear tyre wear, but can its front tyres last 17 laps? That's the question.
Yeah, but he's got a fuel tank of only half a tank as well, just as we saw there on the stream, so he's definitely 2-stopping.
Actually, running long has cost Cruising some time. He's 1.8 slower on this lap.
Yep.
Ooh, he's into the pits now.
Yeah. Lunacy will go around again. Being the medium runner, he'll run it as long as he can.
Well, if they're running similar strategies, except in different order of tyre compound, I'd expect to see the Lunacy go 16, maybe 17 laps. In the Ferrari on those tyre wears, I'd probably be aiming towards the 17 lap mark.
Well, the critical thing here...
I have been wrong many times before, and I don't think this will be the last.
The critical thing here is that the Cruisin' of old would have just wrung the neck out of the fuel tank, and that doesn't happen anymore. He's improved out of sight, which is huge. But what we need to keep an eye out is where he comes out. So he's just come out behind Old Wakey. That was critical for Wakey. I think getting stuck behind Cruisin' would really not have helped things.
Black Friday in P5 is just coming up to the back end of Evil Evo.
So Evil Evo's gotten around him. Because Evil Evo was actually behind him, behind Black Friday, and he was behind Patstar as well. So Patstar's obviously pitted in. But Evil Evo, that's a very interesting one.
Pat Starr has just exited the pits now. He's out onto the racing soft tyres.
Dadson doing a great job at the moment. He's 3.7 seconds behind. He's not really fallen out of the clutches of Lunacy at the moment. Lost a little bit of time out as Evil Evo on Black Friday pit. And somehow Black Friday's actually managed to out-fuel save the Alpha. Which is huge in itself considering how good the Alpha is on fuel and tyres. So how long can Lunacy keep running at this pace for on these tyres is the real question. As he runs real wide through turn 4.
He's down to about 5% left on that front right tyre. So what are we on? Lap 15. I would expect to see him in end of lap 17. Oh, he has nearly gone wide, a la Black Friday.
Now, one thing I want to keep an eye on as well, has Stickers hasn't pitted. He's on a medium
Correct.
compound. Will he end up holding Lenocis up is the real question here, because old Wakey is now 6.7 seconds behind. Oh, it's going to be a bit of touch and go here. Stickers does not want to be in the way of these guys that are fighting for the race win. But in saying that, he doesn't necessarily have to move. The gap between Stickers and Lenocis has well and truly dropped off a cliff.
I mean, yep, you're 100% right. Stickers does not have to move. There's nothing in the rules saying that he does. A lot of drivers are believers in etiquette and that, you know, you're not racing someone when you're on completely different strategies.
There we go. He's moved out of the way. Oh, no. He tried to. There he goes.
Lenocis didn't quite have the run on him that Stickers thought he would. So that's what we do like to see, a bit of etiquette amongst the drivers. Like if you know that someone's running a different strategy to you, don't hold them up unnecessarily. Let them run their race and you run your own race.
Well,
and at the end of the 30 laps, it'll all work itself out.
speaking of letting them run, TP Mario, he is well and truly on the back of Cruisin' at this point. Oh, Cruisin' runs a little bit wide out of the exit of turn 4. He'll have dirty tyres. TP Mario goes through. I think that was a bit gentlemanly from Cruisin'. I was expecting him there to just at least put up a little bit more of a fight than that. So maybe he knows that DP Mario is quicker at the moment as CGK pits. Wonder if, Cruisin' knows that Mario could be two-stopping. Just decided to sit behind and just try and see if he can find his way up.
It could also be that he knows that a Ferrari with dirty tyres is probably not a good option to try and fight with.
Yeah, that's a good call. The gap between Lunacy and Dadson's starting to drop quite a bit too. Lunacy now down to 2.8 seconds. Dadson, he was out to 4 seconds only a couple of laps ago, and you can really tell the Ferrari's times. He's struggling as Lunacy.
Well, he has no front right tyre left. He's down to his rear tyres are actually surprisingly good. He's got about 40% left on those. It's, the fuel situation in the Ferrari is not looking great. He's down to about 15% left in the tank. Dadson behind him has that tiny little bit left on his front right tyre and just under a quarter of a tank. So he's doing quite well for fuel. Dadson might be able to leapfrog the Lunacy in the pit stop just on the fuel save.
Yeah, and then he just has to get through that initial phase of the Ferrari having tyres, because it looks like...
so what is it? 14% versus 20?
That's a full second.
That's not going to be enough, because the gap is 3.6 seconds between the two.
Yep, and as we keep our eyes on Lenocis as he goes through the rainy curve at the moment, Lenocis will take the lead of the race. It's all... just looking at this battle as well between DP Mario, his strategy He's on softs again. He's making progress, but the problem is he's compromised on strategy. He's definitely on the back of old Wakey now. So I wonder if Mario's strategy...
Stickers goes around again.
Yeah, it's 18 laps for Stickers on mediums. That's a good result. I wonder if DP Mario's strategy might just be to go as hard as he can for 2 stints on the soft tyre. Definitely has a...
If you're putting in an extra pit stop in this race, you definitely have to go hard.
Yep. He's definitely got the pace. Old Wakey did a 28.7 last lap. DP Mario did a 27.5.
Well, DP Mario's last 4 laps has been a 27.3, 27.5, 27.4, 27.5.
Yep.
So he's definitely got the hammer down, but just as a side note, he has just under a quarter of a tank of fuel, which with 12 laps to go, it's not going to work no matter which way you slice it.
Tell you what, he's actually having a big look at old Wakey here at the corkscrew. Wakey just... I think he was thrown off a little bit by the way Mario was looking.
Wakey is doing very well with the position of that car on the track. It's just putting it right in the way without doing anything nefarious.
As Stickers comes into pit. I think if you're old Wakey, you sort of... If you do find out that Mario's in this phase of the race where he's on better tyres and much better race pace, you'd sort of just let him go and just try and bring yourself to Lenocis a little bit. As much as you can.
And on the other hand, these guys don't know what strategy everyone else is running.
Yeah, that's a good
point.
point.
They may not know that DP Mario is so low on fuel. In fact, I dare say he doesn't know.
No, and I think...
And it's brought Cruising back into the mix too. He's been silently just doing 0.3 of a second better lap over the last 3 laps or so.
Yeah, he's doing a fantastic
You are not
job.
wrong.
Oh, he's right there. So, he might be able to just creep up to old Wakey a little bit here and just say...
Sorry, I was just riding on board Cruisen's teammate, the Lunacy, who has been leapfrogged after that pit stop, and he ran very wide at turn 4 and nearly gave me a heart attack, but has managed to keep the car pointed in the right direction.
Yeah, he had a little bit of a... probably safe to say, not the best out lap. 1 minute 30.5. It's been a bit of an interesting run for Lunacy. He has a big move at understeer at the corkscrew.
And someone else to keep an eye on as well is P6 Dadson, just behind the Lunacy, who's... Well, he was making up time on the Lunacy before he had that little moment at the corkscrew, so...
Yeah.
They're both on the racing soft tyre, so they're on equal footing in terms of tyre compound. So, be interesting to see where they stack up at the end of... towards the later stages of this race, considering how the Ferrari is not exactly friendly on its tyres.
Yeah, I think one thing about Dadson as well, he's tenacious. He's always looking to try and go faster and faster and faster, and that was evident last season when he took out Division 3. And he's found it going a little bit tougher in Division 2, as he knew he would. But Mercedes, he's got it. Oh, he's purple right now in the first sector.
I don't think you need to tell either Gurr or myself what Dadson was like last season.
Yeah, I think...
we know that firsthand.
Yeah, I've raced against him this season, and yeah, he's definitely improved out of sight since we've last run together, that's for sure. He's doing a great job, though, in P6's Dadson.
Yeah, he's certainly putting the hard work in between rounds as well, and just trying to get to grips with the Merc. It has its vices as it's slow, but it's good in the corners, and you saw that through that first section there.
Well, I thought DP Mario might have pitted then. We're just on board with him now, and I thought he might have come in and put new fuel and tyres on with 10 laps to go, but he's not that far off coming in again.
He's on the fuel light,
big
so...
mover.
Oh, yeah.
About 1.8 seconds a lap quicker than CGK for the last 3 laps. He's well and truly in the 27s.
Oh,
And he's got fuel and tyres to get home.
yeah, and having a look at his lap compared to the fastest lap in the race now, which is to Lunacy with a 1 minute 27.039. He's there or thereabouts in the Alpha, so the Alpha's definitely got pace. This is very interesting at the moment, and it's only 3.2 now to CGK, who last lap did his personal best of a 28.1.
Yeah, so this will, I mean, if he gets CGK, this is 11th down to 7th.
And as the tyres start to wear out throughout the stint for everybody, Evil Evo could still run at that pace flat out for the rest of the race.
And he's purple now through the first sector, but just touched the dirt.
Yeah, Lunacy was, you just saw he had a big moment. Seems like the Ferrari's got a little bit of oversteer for Lunacy at the moment. He's well and truly making time on Cruising at the moment. 2.5 seconds in front is Cruising at the moment, and seems to, yeah, just be losing touch a little bit with old Wakey.
Mario's coming into the pits now.
Actually, we missed it, but on lap 19, Cruising was a 132.3, so he lost nearly 4 seconds.
Yeah, so he's had a big moment somewhere. As Lenocis 9.2 to the good. It'll be more than that now that Mario's pitted. You can see the gap there now, 13.6 seconds and climbing. So I reckon old Wakey might just be in conservation mode a little bit with how the time was going up on the straights.
I think Mario is going to potentially drop down to, well, I hate to say it, last.
Yeah. The pit...
Stickers is coming onto the main straight now. DP Mario is still putting fuel in.
The pit lane transition here is about... what it was just putting on tyres was 51 seconds, so it's...
Yeah, thereabouts.
Yeah.
It's painful.
It's painful, but he's not going to have an amount of time to make it too.
It's going to be touch and go here. I think Stickers just pips him.
Yep.
But Mario does have slightly fresher tyres, so he might be able to claw something back.
Well, keeping in tabs now with Evil Evo, P7 at the moment. That gap has well and truly come down. And look at those lap times for the last 3 laps for Evil Evo as well. 1 minute 27.5, 1 minute 27.5, 1 minute 27.4. That is phenomenally quick driving. And he's consistently quick, so he's found something in this Alpha at the moment, and he's looking very competitive.
Never mind how quick that is. Can I have some of that consistency, please, Evil Evo?
Yeah.
That'd be great. Like, even if it's 2 seconds a lap slower than that, I don't care. If I can have some of that consistency, I'll take it.
Now, we've got the Birthday Boys team in 3rd and 4th at the moment. Lunacy has gotten by Cruising, so I dare say that might have been a team thing.
I think it could also be the tyre deficit with the Lunacy on the softs, as he's purple through the first sector, and Cruising is on the mediums.
Well, old Wakey is 4.5 seconds in front, which I think to Lunacy could catch. It's 1 minute 27.9 from Lunacy last lap, compared to a 1 minute 28.5. So the crossover period hasn't happened yet.
Well, something to keep an eye on, I think, would be the Lunacy and Old Wakey. It's 4 seconds at the moment, but Old Wakey's on the medium compound, running in the low 29, high 28 bracket. The Lunacy is running solid 27s for the last 3 laps.
Yeah, that's a very good point. And
he has had a bit of a moment on the second last turn there, but has taken over half a second out of Old Wakey in half a lap. So what are we on now? End of lap 23. Well, I'd say if he's not on his bumper by lap 27, I will be very surprised.
Oh, Evil Evo just ran a little bit wide there. You can tell how hard he's pushing. That definitely cost him time. The gap was as low as 1.1 between them, but that's completely changed now. And the gap between Old Wakey and Lunacy now has dropped to 3.4, so Lunacy's starting to merge. And there's still time on his side as well. He's got 6 laps to go. He's just got to make the tyre hold on.
I don't want to jinx him here or put the Mozza on him, but shout out to Dadson, P5. Go, son.
Yeah, he's doing a fantastic job.
Managing a great gap either side too. He's pretty safe territory.
And look at his lap times as well. He's in the 28s. So his lap pace is good. There's a lot to take out of this race for Dadson. He's always been thinking to himself, oh, don't know how I'll go in Div 2, or, you know, or maybe I'll just drop back to Div 3. But he's shown he can run with these guys. He's not afraid to push with these drivers that are being a bit more established in Division 2. Even a couple.
Definitely hold his own.
Yeah, exactly. So there's a lot to take here for the team owner of Dadson Racing, and I think he'd be pretty chuffed about this one tonight. If he's not, well, we'll have to pull the sandbags out of the boot.
If he's not happy with this result, I'm going to start throwing sandbags at him.
So, yeah, no, he's looking fantastic at the moment as Dadson, as the sun's starting to come down over the region of Monterey. And it looks like he's starting to make headway into Cruisin, who's really starting to struggle now. I wonder if Cruisin's, he might be in a little bit of trouble in terms of the car, because he's dropped well and truly off the back of Lenocis, who is actually really ranging into Old Wakey territory now. That gap is dropping like a stone. 1 minute 27's all round for the Lenocis.
I think Cruisin will be okay for tyres, because while they're about 70% worn on the front tyres, he is on the medium compound, so I dare say he'll get home. What is a bigger concern is his fuel gauge at the moment, which is a tiny bit under a quarter of a tank at the end of lap 25. So you're looking at 5% fuel. Oh, as he has a big moment on the second last corner. This might bring Dadson right into contention for a P4.
There's a couple of big spot fires happening everywhere at this point of the race. 5 laps to go. CGK is having Evo really sort of just push into him. Then you got this big battle pack for the final 4 spots on the grid.
And just quietly, the gap between Old Wakey and Lenocis is bang on 1 second.
Oh, so now we're really in uncharted territory here.
With the Lenocis on the softs, albeit very worn, but Old Wakey on the mediums.
Well, that's the thing now as well, is how much of the tyre is Lenocis used to get to Old Wakey, and has he actually got anything to fight with is the real question here. Old Wakey...
quite a bit, and I'm not sure. Would be the answers to those questions.
Well, last lap for Old Wakey was a 1 minute 29 flat compared to a 1 minute 27.9 for Lenocis. So if he's gonna make a move, it's gonna have to be pretty soon.
Or as Cruisin and Dadson have a bit of a slightly more physical altercation than I think either of them cared for at the corkscrew.
And these two have raced each other before in Division 3 as well. A few seasons back, and these two were not afraid to throw haymakers at each other no matter what happened. So we're going to have to cheat. Oh, and you can even see behind Evil Evo and CGK, that battle's starting to close right up. As we'll just go back up with Lenocis and Old Wakey real quick. Lenocis right
keep an
there.
eye on Dadson and Cruisin here at turn 1.
Oh, Lenocis just a little bit wide, but he's all over the Kraken Esports Supra. Wouldn't this be something if Lenocis could nail second place out? Big birthday present for the good doctor as Old Wakey goes defensive. Lenocis tries to cut back. This is fantastic racing between these two. The rookie and one of the stalwarts.
Oh, Dadson!
Oh, we just caught
Down
that.
the inside! He got it!
Great move.
And Evil's got a
Cruisin
run on
went very,
CGK
very
behind him.
defensive.
Oh, not only that, it's still on for P2 as well. This is as close as it gets through the rainy curve here. There is 0.2 of a second in it. Lenocis's just giving him a little tap to let him know, hey, I'm here. It's time to fight.
I don't know where to look.
Yeah, this is going off. There's spot fires literally everywhere at the moment.
2 and 3, 4 and 5, 6 and 7.
Yeah, but it might be...
Meanwhile,
Have a look at this, though. Between...
Lenocis has skipped off in the front by 14.6 seconds.
the battles that are going on through the field right now, as Evil Evo sends it up the inside of CGK. Little bit of contact. What can Evil Evo do? He's going to put it in defensive as we go back to Dadson v Cruiser. This is getting very hot. Dadson just on the defensive there. Evil Evo will go around the outside of CGK. Can he make it stick at the edge? Ready hairpin goes a little bit wide. He goes off. We don't know where to look. It's all going off. The race is going off right now.
This is the race of the season.
There's battles left, right and centre.
I've got my eye on the old Wakey Lunacy battle.
Oh, this is getting very willing between these two. Just jumped on board now with Lunacy, and he's got to make the move happen sooner rather than later, especially with the way the tyres are.
The Lunacy is all but out of front right tyre, so he needs to make it happen or it's not going to.
Oh, he's just run a little bit wide outside of the rainy curve. Goes into turn 10.
I think the Dadson Cruisin battle is done and dusted because Cruisin is on the fuel light.
Oh no! And guess what?
Evil's picked up a penalty.
Oh no!
At the corkscrew.
Oh, and CGK gave him a lot of room out of turn 10. A little bit of contact. Great save by CGK to hold it. Oh, this battle's very, very willing, very dicey indeed. This battle pack between fourth and, second, third, and fourth, and fifth, and sixth, and seventh might just end up in a four-way battle here with 2 laps to go.
Oh! I just caught Black Friday and Mario and Patstar is very opportunistic.
Yeah, Mario just goes up the inside there. He's got the hazard lights ablaze here, so all through the field there is battles literally left, right and centre at the moment. We don't know where to keep up.
He has had the hazard lights on for the last 10 laps or so. I think he's had it on accidentally.
Oh, Black Friday sends it.
Stickers may have given Mario a bit of a... how do I put this? Go on, son, off you go. Bit of a helping hand. I don't think there was anything malicious in it. I just think there was nowhere else for him to go.
I think you might be right about the old Wakey Lunacy battle. Lunacy's tyres. He did a 1 minute 29.9 last lap compared to Wakey's 1 minute 29.1. Oh, it was 29.7 actually for the Lunacy. But Cruisin's in real trouble here. Look at the last 4 laps. 1 minute 31, 1 minute 31, 1 minute 31, and 1 minute 30.6.
He is in fuel trouble. He is in a lot of fuel trouble.
Yep.
Oh.
Yeah, but he's not the only one. Evil Evo's. No, he's only just on the light now. He'll make it
He'll
home.
have a full lap, yep.
Yeah, but he's got a half-second penalty to burn, which he does now. He's going to have to find something very, very special here.
Oh. Well, I'm just watching the Mario Black Friday coming out of the corkscrew, and that was a bit...
Yeah, Cruisin's definitely compromised fuel. It's down to half a second. No, he's been passed.
Oh, wow. Yeah, he's out. I think he's out. No.
Yeah, Evil's passed him.
No, the engine's still going.
He's not out of fuel, but he is severely compromised for fuel.
And then there's
he's still revving the neck out of it. Okay.
I better go back up to the front though, because Lenocis leading the title charge. He didn't really necessarily need a big result tonight, but he's ended up stamping his authority all over Division 2. Comes around turn 11 now. He's going to be very, very hard to beat for this championship. And he will take the win at Laguna Seca. P2 will be old Wakey, who holds on. He fought a Herculean challenge from Lunacy to take P2 though. Lunacy had nothing left in terms of tyre life. P3. P4 will be a man that absolutely deserves this. A fantastic result.
Prospector himself.
He'll cross P4. Look at Evil Evo and CGK 5th and 6th. What a drag race.
What a great race.
And Cruisen's out of fuel. Get that man a Deeds
He
contract.
gets across. Yeah.
But he did have a 17-second gap. to
Oh,
Pascal,
no!
Who has a
Oh,
half-second
penalty.
penalty. Mario's going to get him here.
And that's going to be a
Based
full
off the
second.
penalty.
That's going to be a full second.
No, Patstar ran out of fuel just before the line.
The line. Yep.
That'll be a full second penalty as well because it wasn't served. Holy sheesh. Where do we look at that race?
I honestly don't know where to look.
As we look at Lenocis there, who has taken the win. Big congratulations to Lenocis. It's going to be very, very hard to stop at this point. And, well, what do you say about that performance? That was just, wow. Just absolutely dominant from our championship leader. And with a couple of rounds that really do suit the super package coming up, he's going to be a very tough man to beat. So we will just go to the race results. Let's have a quick look. As Lenocis, of course, there in front by 12 seconds over Old Wakey, who tried everything. He will have taken a couple extra points for pole position, though, so that's good news. To Lunacy in P3 threw everything at it, but just had absolutely no more tyre left. Dadson P4, fantastic drive by the prospector. He dug deep for a great result, found a little bit of gold. CGK in 5th position. He will be wrapped with that, actually, after starting P9, I believe it was. Evil Evo P6. He will be also really, really... I think he'll be happy about that. Couple of little mistakes, but overall, P6, solid result. Cruising in P7. DP Mario in 8th. Pat Star in P9. PLE Black Friday in 10th. And Stickers are finishing in the rear. But congratulations does go to Lenocis for a big, big win there. So, guys in chat, you know what to do. Fire in your picks for the Womble Award.
Driver of the day, Dadson.
Yep, I'm in full agreement there. Dadson, that is a massive, massive result. And I think, Graham, I almost don't want to ask you because I feel like, yeah, it's your team owner here, so I don't want to include any bias, but you sort of got to pick him, don't you?
Well, as long as there's free beer in it, no. But it was a solid, it was a solid drive, and yeah, and under a bit of pressure at different times of the race. And I was also really impressed with CGK. He was under immense pressure there for about 6 laps from Evil Evo and held his own, so it was really good.
Yeah, agree completely. I think he will be beyond wrapped with that race. It was a big big ask to make the car last that long, and yeah, Evil Evo, great job all up. So
Definitely well done to the Div 2 guys tonight. They've absolutely turned it on in terms of action for us. In that last 7 or 8 laps, there were 3 of us and none of us knew where to look.
Yep, agreed.
So well done to all the drivers. That was fantastic.
So checking through chat at the moment, Womble has of course given himself driver of the day. Bumcrack said Wakey for hanging in there as driver of the day. The Diablos has said Womble, great drive with Snake for the Div 4 race, which I do agree. That was a great drive. Snake Eyes, what a race. So many close battles. Yeah, that was honestly one of the hardest races I've ever had to call purely because of how many battles there were. And there was like 4, like the only driver that wasn't with anybody towards the end of that race was Lenocis. That's...
Yeah, the poor guy was out in front driving a great race and hardly got any camera time, hardly any TV time, just because of everything else that was going on behind him.
Yeah. Also, just keeping it with Robert Rice, who said great race all up. So, yeah, I think Dadson will definitely get that driver of the day. But anyway, as we look forward to our next round, which is the endurance round for the GT3s at Spa-Francorchamps. And I've been looking at the weather radars and all that jazz, the weather reports for next week. And I can tell you right now, one of the 2 divisions is going to be absolutely soaking wet. So, yeah, looking for... I'm not going to say which one it is. I just want to keep that one under wraps for now. But we'll wait and see. It's going to be absolutely fantastic. But before we head off, guys, are there any final words from... we'll start with Graham. Any final words from you, mate?
For me, that last race was probably the race of the season, just the intense battles. But looking very much to getting that second endurance race with the 4 divisions over the next 2 weeks. I think it'll be an absolute ripper, especially with the conditions that Spa can throw at one.
Yep. And it's one of the toughest tracks on the calendar, but not only that, it's definitely got a spanner in the works with the weather side of things, because it just throws the dynamics of the cars out the window. And Carbon Boy, you being in the Super, if it rains, how are you going to be feeling in that thing?
Mate, I am extremely looking forward to the next round. A, it's an endurance race. B, it's at Spa, which I love. And C, I am out of that godforsakenly slow 8.6 and into the Supra. So I'm in a car that handles not too badly and has some pace. So I've made sure to pack my intermediates and my wet tires. I am ready to roll for any weather that the track throws at me.
Yep.
And being such a long lap, it depends where you are on that lap if it does start raining heavy.
Yep. And
that's the scary bit.
Qualifying's also going to be very, very interesting as well, in terms of because of how long the lap is, whether you just go out and go as hard as you can, or you just sit back a little bit and then just warm up the tyres and try and get that banker lap in and then go for broke, because I think, judging from what everyone said, it's going to be an extremely close contest. So very much looking forward to Spa-Francorchamps endurance racing. 90 minutes for all the divisions, and with weather around, and who knows what's going to happen in terms of strategy. It's going to be an absolutely brutal event, but we'll leave that for next week. As for tonight, we want to say massive thank you to, of course, Graham and Luke for stepping into Comms Box tonight and hosting 2 absolutely fantastic races. Thank you very much, boys.
No worries. Thank you. It's been good.
Most welcome. Always a pleasure.
And just make sure you leave me a beer at the end of this, if that's okay. Anyway, massive thank you does go to all the drivers out tonight who, whether they did bad or whether they did good, they still got in and had a crack. And, they've done an absolutely fantastic job. Also, big thank you goes to, of course, the guys that have watched this stream. It's been... absolute honour. And last but not least, I haven't actually mentioned this. Big congratulations to Adam as well for being over in Amsterdam and representing New Zealand in the Gran Turismo World Series, hence why he is not streaming tonight. And it is Karen doing Karen things. So, do apologise about qualifying. Anyway, I am Karen, aka Brent, signing off. And of course, thank you very much for watching Sector 1. And as always... I can never get these intros right, these outros right. Anyway, good night, guys.